Anthony Nelson, EDGESchool, Iowa, Conference, Big Ten College Experience, RS Jr., age, 21 height, weight, 6'6", 270 seconds LBS projected draft status, 3rd or 4th round NFL comparison, DeMarcus Walker College statistics Anthony Nelson nearly wasn't a Hawkeye. Nelson originally gave a verbal commitment to Iowa State but decided to switch as he thought Iowa would offer him a better education. He also decided to follow his father's footsteps when he decided to play football at Iowa. The talented edge prospect's father Jeff also played defensive line in the late 80s and early 90s. Nelson arrived on campus all of 6'6" and 210 pounds. He was given a red shirt his freshman season and gradually got his body into playing shape. Somewhat quietly, Nelson has been one of the more productive defensive players at the position in the Big Ten over the past 3 seasons. Anthony was named to the academic All-Big Ten for the 3rd year in a row and finished 2nd in the Big Ten in sacks. Nelson is a talented player, but there are a lot of questions around where he may fit best in the NFL. Despite his college success, it may be a few years before Nelson starts to reach his potential in the NFL, largely because he is still developing his body. The good news is that a few professionals think Nelson has high upside and that he could be one of the better values in this draft because of the skills he has already. Strengths: excellent length, good strength, and good instincts. Length and hand technique allows him to get best of offensive linemen. He has a nice swim, rip, chop, and spin move that allows him to collapse the edge and work inside. He can get relatively consistent pressure compared to other prospects in this class. Athleticism isn't bad either, as he shows some quickness and speed. Great instincts and read and reactability. He knows where the ball is and is effective at setting the edge with his strength. He can get off blocks, and his discipline not to bite on trickery. Shows great effort once he locates the ball and pursues the ball carrier well. Has some experience dropping into space and looks decently fluid for working in coverage. Some versatility, as he's strong against the run as well as the pass and is projected to play but also has the ability to move inside. Weaknesses: as much as I'm tempted to say otherwise, I think Nelson would fit best as in either base scheme. With his skills and size, I can't exactly see OLB. Rather, I think he would be much more effective in the trenches. The positive is he has plenty of frame to fill out. I didn't see much agility or flexibility. He is a bit stiff and wins with his technique, effort, and power rather than his athleticism. Though he has dropped back into space to cover, I would not recommend him doing it in the pros. He simply does not have the athleticism to stick with many players. Could stand to get stronger and pay more attention to his leverage. On some plays he can get pushed back at times. Let's see his work. More Anthony Nelson videos. Base D who will kick inside on passing downs. Dane Brugler, @DeepBrugler, February 12, 2019. Notable arm length: CB Rock Ya-Sin 32 3/8, CB Isaiah Johnson 33 5/8, OT Andre Dillard 34, DeCarl Granderson 34 1/2, OT Titus Howard 34 3/4, De Anthony Nelson 34 3/4, DeMontez Sweat 35 5/8, OL Aliudo 36, Tay Donald Parham 36 1/8, DL Charles Omenihu 36 1/2, Dane Brugler, @DeepBrugler, January 22, 2019. How he would fit on the Redskins. Nelson is one of my favorite mid-round players. By now some of you should have figured out I love me a hard-working, productive Iowa football player. While I think Nelson could come in and contribute his rookie season, one thing: if he's drafted by the Redskins, he will need a year or two to gain some quality weight, 10 to 20 pounds, and strength so he can contribute as a 3 to 4 D. Nelson has good technique and active hands. I would love to see what Coach Tom Sula could get out of him, especially if he's projected to kick inside on passing downs. Nelson is limited athletically a little bit, but I think it's less of an issue if he plays on the defensive line. And now my go-to pitch: get rid of Stacy McGee, draft Anthony Nelson. I have confidence that Nelson's skills will grow exponentially with the coaching talent we have for the position, as we have seen this with other young players as well. He's a well-rounded player who I think would be a great mid-round pick to continue rounding out the defensive line talent of the team.